Somewhere, right now, someone's face is turning red for reasons they cannot control. Not fear. Not anger. Something stranger entirely. Every other animal on Earth can hide what it feels. Not a dog, not a wolf, not even your closest living relative, the chimpanzee. Only one species on this entire planet does this, us. Your own blood vessels betray you before your mouth can even open. Before he can lie, before he can explain, before he can run. And ancient humans, tens of thousands of years before cities or writing, had this exact same reflex. So today we're asking a simple but oddly difficult question. Why does the human face turn red? Let's start with what's actually happening inside your skin. Blushing begins in a part of the brain most people have never heard of. Adrenaline widens the tiny blood vessels just beneath the surface of your face, ears, and neck. Because facial skin is thinner than skin almost anywhere else on your body, that extra blood shows. Here's what makes it different. You cannot consciously trigger it, and you cannot consciously stop it. And once a blush starts, you can't stop that either. That single fact is the whole mystery. Why build a signal you have zero control over? In 1872, one naturalist wrote that blushing is, in his words, the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. He studied cultures across the world, searching for one human society that never blushed. He couldn't find one. Every human population he studied showed the same reddening response to shame or exposure. Then he looked at animals, and found nothing like it at all. Primates can flush their skin, but mostly from heat, exertion, or aggression, not embarrassment. A mandrill's face is famously red, but that color is permanent pigment, not sudden emotional blood flow. That absence is the whole clue, and it applies to every single species we've ever studied. Early humans were not lone survivors, fighting the wild all by themselves. They lived in small bands, sometimes only 20 or 30 people, utterly dependent on each other. There was no hospital if you got hurt, and no stored food if you were cast out alone. Being expelled from the group wasn't just uncomfortable, it was often a death sentence. So the biggest threat wasn't only the predator outside camp. In a world like that, something becomes incredibly valuable, instant, involuntary proof that you know you did wrong. This is where researchers introduce an idea called honest signaling. A blush works the exact same way, but for social trust. Anyone can say the words, "I'm sorry." Words are cheap, and words can lie. But a blush cannot be produced on command by the nervous system, no matter how good a liar you are. So when someone's face suddenly floods red, the group reads it as proof they feel the guilt, not just perform it. That instant, uncontrollable redness became a kind of ancient lie detector, built directly into the human face. Picture a hunter-gatherer camp on the edge of a river, 15,000 years ago. The rest of the group goes hungry that night because of his mistake. That redness does something powerful. It tells the group he understands what his mistake cost them. Except humans didn't evolve a posture, we evolved a color. And seeing that involuntary red, the group was often more likely to forgive him. Individuals who could visibly signal remorse were less likely to be exiled from the tribe. Which means blushing wasn't just personally useful, it may have helped stabilize entire early human societies. Trust is the invisible infrastructure that lets a species share food, raise children, and survive brutal winters. And trust needs proof. Blushing was proof written directly onto skin, impossible to counterfeit. Being caught doing something wrong is one of the strongest triggers. Being suddenly the center of unwanted attention is another, even when you've done nothing wrong at all. Even being complimented in public can trigger it. It appears in toddlers as young as age 2. It appears in the very old. It is, quite literally, one of the most universal human experiences there is. Some researchers have asked an obvious question. If blushing is so useful, why can't we control it? Wouldn't it be safer to fake a blush only when convenient, and hide it when it isn't? But that misses the entire point. A signal you can switch on and off whenever convenient is worthless as proof of anything. Nature didn't make a mistake by leaving out an off switch, the missing off switch is the feature. So the next time your face turns red in front of a room full of strangers, remember what's actually happening. You are not malfunctioning. You're running a communication system older than language, older than fire, older than the wheel. A system your ancestors carried through ice ages, migrations, and the collapse of entire tribes. It told the group, I see what I did, and I am still one of you. Every blush is a tiny, involuntary handshake with everyone standing around you. And it's been working, quietly, for at least 100,000 years. Which might be the strangest thing about being human. The truest thing you say all day might be something you never meant to say at all. It might just be the color of your own face.